synopsises. Me first. All right.
Welcome to the Get Offset podcast. My name is Andrew.
And my name is Emily, and I'm barely alive.
Ah, but you are alive.
I am. I am alive. I just got back from tour on Friday.
She's only mostly dead.
I'm getting better. I am getting better.
They're all dead. There's only one thing left to do. Go through
What?
the pockets for loose change. I know I butchered the quote. I need to rewatch that movie.
Yeah. This is fair and true and good. I was on tour last week with Jerf, Jerf, which I don't think is a Kimmy Schmidt reference. I think it's just the guy's actual nickname. It's just Jeff's nickname. So toured in the back of in an RV. I guess I was in the front a lot. I was co-pilot with this woman named Brittany Danielle, who is also a solo artist in her own right, and just released a new single on AudioFem. And I listened to the whole record, and it's so lovely. Yeah.
So does that make you a scruffy looking jerf herder?
Jerf herder. I know y'all were like trying to guess like what the fan base was called.
That was my favorite answer. I can't actually take credit for it. Someone else came up with it.
Do you remember who?
I want to say Fuzzmonger did, but I don't actually. I don't honestly remember it. I feel terrible about that. But to whoever came up with that was beautiful, and I love you.
Yeah. Well, Brittany just released her Brittany Danielle. It's Brittany Danielle. She just released her new single Hindsight on Friday, and it's really good. I think everyone should go listen to it.
All right.
She's lovely. It was a tour man, like an adventure. She broke her finger on the second day. She's a keyboard player.
Oh.
So she was folding up one, have you ever been in an RV? Like slept in one?
It's been a while.
Well, you know how like this one had a bed in the back. It was a 34-foot RV. A bed in the back, a sofa that folded out like a futon, and then there was this little table and dual like booths, and that folded down. The table folds down, and then you put pads, and it's a bed. And she was unfolding the table bed, and it just crushed the hell out of her pinky. And I was in the back, like getting changed or something. And she's like, "Oh, I just smashed the shit out of my finger." And it was bleeding a lot. And the guys in the bus proceeded to just panic. So she grabbed one of them, grabbed some paper towels, wrapped it, was like, "Hold my hand up here." And I walk out and I'm like, "What happened?" It was bleeding badly. We probably should have stopped to get her stitches, honestly. But that night we were in Missoula, and my friends Kyle and Steph came from Billings to that show because they're just angels, and I love them so much. Big shout out to Kyle and Steph. And Steph is an NP. She's a nurse practitioner, basically a doctor. And she looked at Britt's hand and told us everything we need to do to keep it clean and all that. So I was basically Britt's nurse a little bit, though she could very capable of taking care of herself.
Sure.
And then we got to catch him, and a few days later, and we
got to catch them all.
Yes, Sun Valley, Idaho, and we took her to an urgent care because it was still like hurting a lot. And they wanted to do an X-ray, but they'd had a power surge the night before, so their X-ray machine wasn't working. They didn't get it working all day, and we went in the morning. So after like a 90 minutes or so, I look at the nurse. I'm like, "What if her finger is broken? Like, what do we do? Can we just like operate under the assumption it's broken?" She's like, "Yeah, I mean, well, then we'll just cap it and you wait 2 weeks and we'll drain it and clean it up for you." And we're like, "Okay, let's just do that, I guess." No reasons that, I mean, she's got an appointment with a real doctor now, but.
A real doctor.
I mean, the thing about like a broken like tip of a finger is that basically all you can do is cap it.
Sure.
So we're just like working under the assumption she broke it. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah. So that was exciting.
Tis but to scratch.
Tis but a So she's just like clunking on the piano. It's great. She did great. She really did. She killed it. She drove that RV all around, basically from Missoula all the way down to Sun Valley, Idaho, and we stopped at the national park with the moons in the name. She's, I don't know, Caverns of the Moon. I don't know.
Oh, I have no idea.
I have no idea. It was in Montana. It was really cool. It was very windy. When we at one point we hiked up a little hill and there was snow at the top of the hill. We're like, uh-oh.
This late in the year?
Dude, we woke up in Ketchum one morning. The first morning we were there, 2 inches of snow.
Nice.
Not really.
Not when you're driving an RV, no.
No. But it was all melted by the time we headed out. Booked it.
Made like a baby melted, and
it melted later that day. Yeah. So it was very cold, but thankfully we didn't get stuck in any snow anywhere. But yeah, May 9th, 2 inches of snow. Ketchum, Idaho.
Snow way.
I heard it that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun. Played some really cool shows. Played Balebreaker Brewery. So shout out to Kevin and Megan from Balebreaker. Also for their enormous hospitality. They let us stay with them that night and use their showers. It was...
Paid you and drink tickets, I'm sure.
No, they paid us some cash money. Though they did give us all the free booze we wanted. By that point, we didn't want much. But they make this like a ranch water type of hard seltzer. I got a 6-pack of that and a 4-pack of the Sun Gaze THC drink that they make.
Okay, very
lovely.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool. So yeah, we didn't exactly listen. The RV was heavy enough.
Sure.
Yeah, but they also bought us like $150 worth of food. And
awesome.
They were so generous. It was just really lovely.
Maybe I'll need to go out and go get a 6-pack of Balebreaker this afternoon.
Yeah, I think everyone should, who has Balebreaker in their area, go buy some. They are lovely, truly lovely humans. And
buy local, buy independent.
Yeah, biggest brewery in Yakima. And I know that they won some awards. But check out that, I think it's called Yazi. Yeah, let's just Google it. Balebreaker hard seltzer. It was really good. Yoxi. Yoxi. I don't usually like hard seltzers, but I like them when they're made with agave, as this is. Balebreaker has one brew that they make. They grow every single ingredient in it. That's neat.
A flex.
That's pretty neat.
That's a pretty big flex, yeah.
That's pretty big, yeah.
Where they get the yeast like their beards.
Maybe
you ever seen like any of like the wild yeast brews where they literally like one of the brewmaster's beards, they just like took a yeast culture from it and used that?
Thanks, I hate it.
It's just yeast.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying to think if there's any other fun stories, specifically fun stories, but maybe I'll save this for another time. I gotta let them simmer, I think. Let us simmer.
Let us soak in. You're barely back.
I am barely back. I'm barely alive. I bought some gear on tour. I bought a piece of gear on tour.
A piece of gear on tour. Wow.
I bought a Bronco bass in the Dells in Oregon. Here it is.
Yep. What you doing with your hand there?
So I bought this. It was in mint condition. Actually, still has the plastic on the guard. I bought it for $80, and when Rick was unloading it, he dropped it. It didn't last 24 hours in my care. Yeah. Aww. So excuse to refin. Though I do have to glue that little piece of wood on. He said when he dropped it, he said he didn't tell me because he didn't notice the damage.
How do you not notice, Rick?
Rick, baby.
Rick.
Yeah.
Note to self, don't let Rick touch my guitars.
Second guitar of mine he's dropped. Second guitar of mine he's dropped, and this one's worse. But
yeah, but like Rick, like come on, man, like when we said drop the bass, like that's not what. Disappointed.
That was a good one. I approve. And then in Portland, I got to see Joey from Cattle and Bread, and he came bearing a gift.
Ooh, that's a fun box.
It is a fun box. So let's see what Joey brought me. It's an Echo Rack.
There you go.
I love it.
That's a fun one.
I've never played it.
I've spent a lot of time with the Echo Rack. That is one of my favorite, like tape delay single unit.
Yeah,
styles.
That's good to hear.
Sounds phenomenal. Controls are intuitive, and it's
Bye, Carrie.
Fun to tweak in real time.
Yeah.
Get lost in that for a bit.
Remember, did you watch my demo of the tribute? The it's okay if you didn't, but Joey pointed out that at one point I said the only thing that would make this pedal like better, in my opinion, is if there was an expression jack that you could use to sweep the hertz. And he's like, ooh, yeah, that is a good idea. So I don't know. Maybe someday they'll do like a deluxe version of the tribute. I really hope that they do. Jeff, the singer, he actually played the tribute at all the shows. And I had originally put the speaker cranker on my board, but Jeff was playing just an EP booster, little booster pedal. Yeah. And it wasn't boosting him enough. So I swapped out the speaker cranker. We swapped boost because I didn't need that much extra volume for the one place we used the boost. So I think he was kind of in love with that setup. He played the Line 6 Catalyst 100. It was a champ. Zero problems with it. On the bottom of an RV for a week. Yeah. And
like the one place that might be as dangerous as Delta Airlines or American Airlines or whatever.
Ooh, United. United's the one.
United, that's what it was.
Famous guitar.
I just said Delta because I actually typically like Delta. That was just the first one that came to mind. But
yeah, it's sorry, United guys, kills guitars. Well, you can blame Delta for other things, I'm sure.
Real Delta male move right there.
Ooh.
I don't even know what that means. I've just lost track of what the different signifiers for the Greek alphabet signifiers. There's like Delta, Alpha, Sigma, Beta, whatever.
Well, I think we all know what beta means. And Delta sounds below that. Yeah.
The fish, yep.
Delta. Isn't it a little triangle or something?
I didn't go to that nice of a school, no. We didn't have those.
Didn't you learn like theology and shit? Like, is that not part of it?
Yeah, I got Alpha and Omega.
Those are different letters.
I did take Greek, and then I dropped out of Hebrew after like 6 weeks.
You did take Greek then?
I did not.
Know. Oh, you didn't? There was a project where we were given like panels from a Greek comic book that was like the Odyssey, but like graphic novelized. And we had to translate it. And I was like, what? Why? So yeah, a little bit more. So then at that point you have to like just pull open the Greek alphabet and like copy paste each individual letter into like Google Translate. Most annoying, pointless thing I've ever done in my life, probably in college.
Yeah, that doesn't sound ideal.
$28,000 a year.
Yeah. No, one of my theology professors, like learning Greek could be helpful at some point if you want to get really deep into it. But in the meantime, like honestly, there are resources where you can find the original Greek versions of the Bible, and then you can go to other sources and find what the direct translation of each individual word is for yourself, and the like connotations and then piece it together from there. You don't need to deeply understand all of it, and you actually might end up making less mistakes that way.
That sounds. I was like, fewer mistakes sounds good. More mistakes sounds bad.
Yep.
So we got back to Seattle. Actually, we got back to Tacoma. We drove back to Tacoma after the Portland show because we all just kind of wanted to get home, and Britt wanted to sleep in her bed with her, cat and her partner. And so we all, kept her up and got back in Tacoma like at 3:30, and promptly slept until like 10:30.
Nice.
Yeah, then Rick came and got me. Brett and Woody and I had brunch, and then I came back home, took a shower, and slept some more. Wake up to a text from Jeff at 5:05 that says, "Hey, load-in's at 5. I think everyone's going to be late except Emily." And I laughed because I would live closest to the venue by like a lot. Like it's a 10-minute drive from my house.
Sure.
I saw that. I was like, no. And then I snuggled with the cat and then got ready to go. It was all
There
fine.
you
We
go.
didn't actually soundcheck till 6:30. It's just like load-in and soundcheck aren't always the same thing. Load-in, I feel
Right.
like load-ins usually like don't show up before this time.
Sure. Yeah. No one's going to be there to unlock the door before 5.
It was Hotel Albatross, and they were really generous. Hotel Albatross was generous with the bands. You get any entree you want and 2 drinks. Any drinks.
Nice.
Plus, of course, the money. So I got steak frites, $30, and I got 2 $11 cocktails. So I felt pretty good about myself.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It was great. It was a great experience. I'm really glad I did it. Really glad. And then I woke up at 6 the next morning to go to the Thunder Road guitar sale.
Good
which was
Lord.
Stupid choice. But you want to see what I got?
Yes. Prove that it was worth it.
I got the Cattle and Bread Sabracadabra for $70.
What a great name.
Yeah. I've never had I don't think I've ever had like a Rangemaster style pedal. I could be wrong. The Boss Harmonist PS6 for $70.
No, the first half of the Mountain Hood was a Rangemaster.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Sure. That was our signature pedal that we did with Spruce Effects. Big ups to Brian. The Harmonist PS6 for $70.
Those are also lots of fun.
Yeah, I'll have to use it with an expression pedal for sure. The BF3 Flanger for $50.
Classic.
Yes. What else did I get? Oh yeah, this Quilter 101 mini reverb for $100.
There we go.
Yeah.
Quilter makes some legit stuff.
I wish it was the bass head, honestly. But if anyone wants to trade that little itty bitty Quilter for a little itty bitty Quilter bass head,
Sure.
I will happily do that, frankly. Yeah. And I got a Gretsch resonator guitar for $250. They usually sell for like $450. And I really love it. Yeah, a lot. And then Rick got a Thunder. I don't have it down here. There was a bunch of free stuff, and Rick got a picked up a Thunder Road guitar, like cheese board, like charcuterie board.
I feel like you're now obligated to turn that into a pedal board.
No, I want to put cheeses and meats on it. Prosciutto.
Adult Lunchables.
No, that's what you buy on Delta Airlines for like $7, $8. You're out of focus. Andrew's out of focus.
That looks really good on my end.
Oh, I think, sure. Oh, there it goes. It went back into focus. It's because you're really tiny in the corner. We're using this program called Zencaster, and the person you're talking to is really big, but you're really small, so you can't really see how your focus is. I'm done talking. I'm tired of talking. Yeah, but I had a great time.
That's good. It sounds like a couple of weeks well spent, and yeah. I don't have any cheesy jokes to follow that up with. I'm sorry, I failed. The
best part, we made money.
Oh,
I know. It was a financially sound tour. Because of the RV largely.
Sure.
Yeah. So pretty great. Pretty excited about that.
Economic.
Yeah.
Well planned.
Yeah.
Well enjoyed and well paid.
Yes. I kept my receipts for taxes.
Taxes was so stressful. It was like a month ago. I'm still like, that was the worst.
Oh my God. I think we did our taxes on the day they were due. Like we finished them the day they were due, which we never put it off that long, but we got so much shit very late.
Yep. Same. We did the exact same thing.
All I can say is I'm glad I'm doing less freelance work this year because it's going to make this year's taxes skosh easier.
Yeah, that's part of what made mine a nightmare. I'm pretty sure I paid more taxes on the Fox Cairo stuff because I'm like, I could continue to dig for receipts, but it's like midnight and I need to sleep.
Yeah.
Like,
QuickBooks Self-Employed. It's my favorite. Big ups. This podcast is not brought to you by QuickBooks. I would love for it to be. I feel like they would pay big money. QuickBooks, pay me. Pay us.
what would be like a good jingle for QuickBooks?
QuickBooks. QuickBooks.
I've just got the car toys one in the back of my head, but then swap out car toys with QuickBooks.
I don't know. Oh, I think you've sung this jingle on the show before, and I just pushed it out of my brain.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that to you again.
Thank you.
But for those of you who live in the Pacific Northwest and have heard the car toys commercials, yeah, that'll do it. Car
toys. Fun things for girls and boys.
See that
I'm fucking
sounds
delirious.
Super creepy.
Fucking delirious, dude.
It's like, hey kids, come check out the toys I got in my car.
My car toys. Oh my God. I'm so tired. Help me. I'm doing great. I'm
also pretty well wiped out. So it ended up being really good that we had a different episode last week.
Yeah.
Because I've been sick for like 2 weeks. This is the most normal that I've sounded.
Yeah, I sound a little rough, I'm sure. Did you watch the episode with Jason and Tia?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's on my list of things to do.
I lost like the last 15 minutes of it because there was an upload error.
Yep. I scrolled through the episode a little bit, so I didn't watch it in depth. I scrolled through a little bit and read through some of the comments and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I did see the switch at the end. I'm like, oh, that's how you solve that issue. Because I remember you telling me about the issue. I was just wondering how you're going
to. Before you delete your SD card files, as my husband has learned, make sure they uploaded correctly to the computer or the USB drive.
Verify the media. Back up the media.
Yeah. Or just don't delete shit when you don't fucking have to. Okay.
Also that. We
learned some hard lessons, and I learned a lot about data recovery. And I recovered actually major parts of that episode.
Data recovery is both fascinating and terrifying.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we literally shred hard drives when they're no longer needed and have critical data on them.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised at how much stuff I was able to pull, like entire videos that had been deleted, basically. Because like unless you start like rewriting over it, it's basically all still there.
Yep. Yeah.
The problem was we had written over parts of it. So I recovered all that I was able to, and now I have some data recovery programs that I hope I never have to use again.
Yep.
Yeah. So this week's episode of the Get Offset podcast is sponsored by our Patreon supporters. You can be one too, listener, viewer, at patreon.com/getoffset. For as little as $5 a month, you can join our exclusive Discord server. And I do want to shout out all of our Patreons who got me a lovely as hell birthday gift that Andrew dropped off while I was sleeping yesterday. It was like a 15-pound Wagyu brisket, an Igloo cooler, and the bottle of that fucking Metallica whiskey. God damn! It took. It didn't even register. I was so out of it yesterday. And then one of the supporters said, "You do know that's the Metallica whiskey, right?" And I looked at him like, "Oh my God, it really was.
It really was."
I'll bring it by sometime. It tastes like whiskey.
I believe you.
Yeah,
we need to do an episode one of these days where we actually like go to one of the other's houses and like record in a room.
Yeah, for sure.
One of these days.
But
do that over drinks. A drink-a-sode. A drunk-a-sode?
Oh, I don't know if I can get drunk. Maybe I drink a couple sun gazes and get a little toasty.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. So
but
they all made my birthday feel very special.
They the group chat that most of us were able to get into off to the side. A lot of great ideas are tossed around. People were very involved, very, very invested in making sure that a good birthday present was put together for you. So
I did cry. I cried when I read the note. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, is that cooler also ours now? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, wow, it's big.
Yep. It's big. It's surf green.
It's awesome. It's really pretty. It has cup holders on the top.
Yep.
Yeah. It's nice. It's really nice. Thank you.
I was trying to figure out what to do for the packing material like inside of the cooler. I was like, wait a minute, I've got I don't have a pellet grill. I just have some pellets for occasional use for other things.
So yeah, Rick's going to use
I've got a 20-pound bag. I'm just going to pour a bunch of it in there.
Rick's actually going to use those. He's smoking half of it today.
There you go.
Yeah, pretty exciting. He's even going to try to make burnt ends. So,
ooh,
yeah. He said it should be ready around 6.
All right.
Yeah.
I always say that when I'm smoking something, I'm like, yeah, I'll be ready by this time. And it's always like 2 hours after that. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's late.
I've always heard that brisket's easier.
Sure.
My dad always says that brisket's easier. I think because it's like, he always also cuts it in half, which will reduce the cook time quite a bit.
Yep.
So I tell Rick, just talk to my dad. He's like, no. No, he didn't say that. He just wants to do it himself, I think. Well,
good job to the patrons. You all did a really great job.
You made me cry, and a good cry. Good cry. Yeah. So what the hell did I miss last week? I was really off of the internet. So can you fill me in on some worldly things?
I will fill you in on what I think was the most significant thing that happened in the gear world last week.
Oh,
which not to like overplay it, but has the potential to shake things up quite a bit, especially on the eve of NAMM.
Oh yeah.
And that would be Chase Bliss announcing their announcement last week. So Chase Bliss announced that moving forward, they are moving from completely to a direct-to-consumer sales model, or a B2C model, business to customer.
Whoa, just no more dealers.
No more dealers. No
Zero
more
dealers.
Distributors, just full direct-to-consumer. Now you might, without kind of a deeper understanding on what that all means, it sounds like, well, okay, well, just changing like what the storefront looks like. It's like, no. This is fundamentally changing their business model. And I think the implications of that will be fascinating to watch unfold, because a lot of people look up to Chase Bliss for how they should be running their business, because they've done such a phenomenal job of almost defining what success looks like for a mid-size to mid to large size business.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was a big bombshell announcement. They walked it back a little bit the next day, saying after the dust settles, they will reconsider a very abbreviated, curated list of dealers,
like mom and pops, because that's kind of bums me out for mom and pops more than the big retailers.
I don't know. I don't remember exactly what the quote was. I just remember reading it as like a very short list of, not going back to the amount that they've had up to this point.
Huh.
So they're just not accepting further orders. Obviously, dealers that have had deals and have stock are welcome to sell off what's left of them. But that's such a departure for so many reasons. So I guess, and the reason why I think it's fascinating on coming up on NAMM is NAMM is the North American Music Merchants, I think is what it stands for.
Yeah.
In businesses, when they go to NAMM, there's a couple of things. And so from the consumer side of things, we just see that this is a really great media event. There's people with media badges. They're taking photos. They're playing around with the stuff, uploading live demos, just lots of very positive media attention. So it's a great way to show off your product, to show off your branding, get the names of your employees out there, and kind of sort of like, yes, we are a part of this industry. We are experts. We care. And you should be friends with us and look up to us. So that's that half of things. But the other half is why they actually have business offices at the NAMM Convention Center, where people can go and have a conference room meeting. And that's because companies who create product are trying to meet with dealers and distributors to try and do what's called business to business sales. And so that business model is you sell to a shop and then they turn for a wholesale price. So if you think of like Costco as a wholesaler, they're selling it at wholesale prices.
Yeah.
Kind of like buy in bulk, you get everything cheaper per item, but you have to buy in bulk. And then they'll turn around and flip it for MAP pricing. So that's kind of the idea.
That's minimum advertised pricing.
Yes.
For those who don't know. Yeah.
Minimum advertised pricing. And then distributors are kind of a step further in between dealer and the manufacturer, where they say, well, we know we've already got a distributor will say, we've already got relationship with these 50 different storefronts. You don't need to get to know every single one of them. If we can get a slice of that pie, we'll just go ahead and start sending your stuff out to all of them because they trust us to pick good products and to partner with good companies. So in an example, there would be like Moss Distro. Moss Distro. I don't know why I said
Distro.
Distro.
Moss Distro. Lovely people.
No, absolutely.
So
for a small business, why would you even bother with going B2B through distributors or through storefronts? And the answer there is that's a great way to scale your business up very quickly. You're instead of trying to convince one person to buy one, maybe two products, you're convincing one person to buy 100 products, and then to be a brand ambassador for you to the people in their circle of influence. So it's a great way to scale up very quickly. And for a company like Chase Bliss that's been around for so many years, they've built up these relationships, and all of their other their dealers and distributors have been instrumental to their success as a company.
Mm-hmm.
And they're walking away from that now.
Yeah.
There's kind of this awkwardness of, does this fall into the category of like, it's not personal, it's business? Or does it fall into the category of like, well, this is kind of a very personal industry, and now you just took away you're saying, no, thanks. We would like more of the piece of the pie to ourselves because now that we're big enough to self-sustain. That's kind of where people are.
What reasons did they give? I didn't watch the video. I haven't watched the video.
I need to watch the video. Okay. I just remember reading through the Facebook post.
And I know that it was part of it sounded like it was about keeping costs from going up again.
Sure. Well, I mean, that makes sense because, the less people you have in the middle, for Chase Bliss to retain the same profit margin for themselves, the only way to keep costs to then bring down costs is to bring down the profit margin for the other people involved.
Yeah. That makes sense from a consumer standpoint. I do feel bad for the dealers who had relationship, like the smaller ones who had relationships with them for a long time. I feel bad for people who can't try before buying now, though I don't know how many people did that with Chase Bliss. Like, I think that Chase Bliss has a really strong fan base where people are just going to, buy it. And I saw somewhere that they're going to have like a 30-day no questions asked return policy, which is generous and sounds like it could be a bit of a pain in the butt, frankly. Like this is going to be a huge undertaking. They're going to have to hire more people probably.
Yeah.
Is my guess.
Well, for customer service, in a B2B scenario, customer service is really just account management. So you assign someone to manage the accounts with the other businesses, and from there you field whatever their pain points are.
No, I mean just like for the shipping. Like if they're doing everything direct now that they had been doing before, I feel like
sure. I'm thinking. Yeah. I was just thinking customer service, but shipping as well. Just in the number of units shipped versus the number of labels being shipped just went closer to 1-to-1 than it did to 1-to-100.
And to be fair, we don't know what their direct sales were compared to dealer sales. I just remember around Black Friday, they did a sale, And they
Mhm.
said, FYI, we have to fulfill our dealer obligations first. So you might not see these pedals for 6 months that you're
Sure.
buying right now for a discount. And that was just
Yep.
kind of, I really appreciated them being upfront and forward about it. So I feel like they've been doing a good job, just like communicating and keeping that kind of like transparency with their customers.
Yep.
And I've probably
That's always been a hallmark of their brand.
Yeah. And I like that's very important. And a lot of companies don't get that right at all.
Yep.
So, I'm curious about it because it's just like opposite of what Earthquaker did several years ago when they just stopped selling direct, only dealers. And that seems to have worked out for them. So I guess you got to pick, it seems, once you get to a certain point.
Maybe you've got to pick when you get to a certain point, or maybe it just makes more sense to pick one or the other.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got more control in a B2C environment. The downside is that you've got more control, more responsibility.
Yeah.
Front to bottom. So as a business manager for Joel, that means that he's going to be responsible for so much more than previous.
Yeah.
Also be curious to see, I don't think it's necessarily a bad fit by any stretch of the imagination, nor do I think I kind of lean personally more into this is business, not necessarily personal.
Yeah.
And they've not reneged on any contracts that were written. They're fulfilling their dealer orders as agreed upon previously, and then they're just not continuing to re-up that contract. But contract is for a set period of time, and not re-upping it is not necessarily an unethical thing. So by no means do I think that they've done something wrong here.
No. And it's probably going to make a little space for other small brands to get distribution and attention that they might have otherwise been struggling to get, because when you have those physical locations, there's only so much space that you have literally. So
Sure.
think about shelf space, or I know in grocery stores, the big thing is like freezer space. There's really only so much freezer space. And
sure. I think for guitar shops, for boutique pedals like that, I think that equivalent would be a lockbox space.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious to see what brands end up filling those holes in these brick and mortar locations. I think it's probably less of a big deal for the online distribution.
Sure.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm bleeding.
Casual.
Just casually bleeding.
I'm more curious to see what they're going to do for social media and just marketing, because moving to B2C, marketing inevitably will need to change a little bit. Now, they've done a really good job of kind of that transparent, very customer-centric social media marketing.
Yeah.
You're just bleeding out.
I'm just bleeding over here. It's okay. You can keep going. I'm listening.
They've done a good job with kind of that persona online, but I will be curious to see how they aim to improve upon that from just to help adapt with the business model, because there's no in between you. The only person you're trying to impress is your customer. Whereas before that was a lot of what the dealers are trying to do in brick and mortar stores is come on in. We've got the Chase Bliss stuff.
Sorry. Neosporin doesn't work. Doctors, stop using it. Sorry.
So I just rub vodka on it.
Yeah. It's okay. Sorry to all those listening.
Some spit in the tissue.
My nurse practitioner friend said Neosporin basically doesn't do much for cuts.
That would be the first time I've ever heard it, and I will probably continue to use it, but maybe I'm just a sucker to the man.
There's a stronger version or something that's better.
Lidocaine?
I don't know. Something with zinc.
You lied to who?
We use wound wash and something else. Thank you, Rick. I got a Band-Aid now.
There you go. Wow. Real time
first aid. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I would think that there was a point probably with Chase Bliss where they felt like they might have been bringing more to the distributors than the distributors are bringing to them. Just being a big name, drawing people into the stores. Probably didn't need it quite as much for promotion. And if they're saving that much money, they can probably spend a lot more money on marketing. if they're getting like better margins.
Sure.
It's kind of like, I hate to always use Prince as an example, but when Prince stopped working with Warner and started self-releasing stuff, he probably sold fewer records, but he made a much larger portion of that money. So
sell less to make more.
Yeah. But he always said like about like labels, he would say, smaller bands, there's a point where you can need a label or can be beneficial to you at least.
Sure.
But like once you get to the point where you're bringing more good to them than they are to you, it's probably time to cut ties. And I'm not saying that's what's happening, but I can imagine wanting to have that experiment. And I think Chase Bliss is going to be fine. I think they're going to, I don't.
No doubt in my mind that they're going to do just fine with this. I'm not really concerned about that part. I think the follow-up is, I'm very curious to see what merchants are going to be saying about this at NAMM.
I don't think they're going to be happy about it.
It's a big name that says that merchants aren't needed anymore.
I wouldn't be happy about it if I were a merchant, bluntly.
And I'm very curious to see what that's going to do for other brands that are in the space. I don't think any of the other big brands are likely to jump. I think Earthquaker, JHS,
Earthquaker doesn't want to, I don't think.
No, I don't see any of them jumping from that distributor, but more of the mid-sized brands.
And I think part of what makes this possible for Chase Bliss is that they are such a high-end brand.
Yes.
Because you think about Keeley, like, yes, great pedals, but they're not always like $300 to $400, $500.
Sure.
$800. Like, they have lots of offerings, 100, 150. And those are things that I think makes more sense to, you go into a store and you buy it. Like kind of almost on a whim. I don't think people are buying Chase Bliss pedals on a whim because they saw it in the store. If they buy it in a store, it's because they went to the store to try it out before they bought it. And if Chase Bliss is offering 30 days, you can try it out with your rig and see if it works for you. And if not, like you can ship it back. We'll see how long they like.
That's arguably for that degree of for the kind of person that's going to be going for Chase Bliss, that's arguably a better try before you buy model because it allows them to play it with their own stuff. But
and
I'm thinking more in terms
guitar
of
shops out here that do like 2 weeks. You can take it home and try it out with your own rig as long as you bring it back without Velcro on the back.
Yep.
So but a month, way better.
I'm just imagining folks like Philippe from Caroline are kind of doing the and at least noodling around the back of their minds. I haven't talked to Philippe about that. That's pure conjecture. I'm just picking a name brand that I see as like very prominent, and I see it with distributors, but also has a lot of social media clout, and has done a really good job on that front. Mm-hmm. And I imagine there's at least that kind of moment happening. But just to name a brand that I wonder about. And I'm sure if I sat and thought about it for a little longer, I could come up with a list of names that chances are decent. One of them on the list or at least having this thought in the back of their head, following and kind of just analyzing what the other folks in the industry are doing. And I think that's going to be more interesting kind of as brick and mortar continues to tumble a little bit through the rise of the internet, e-commerce, direct to consumer through social media type sales in the industry. I think this is going to be a defining shift for this decade.
Yeah. Guess we're just going to see it play out. Who knows? I guess we'll find out what people think about it at NAMM. Because we're both going.
We are both going.
Yay!
Let's partay.
Everything is booked. We have our passes, our flights. Rick's coming too. Our rental car. Exciting stuff. I'm stoked. I've never been to the Anaheim one. We're staying, pretty close to the convention center, which is going to be nice.
Yep. Yeah. Last time staying an hour's drive away was a bad idea.
Yeah.
It was someone's couch to sleep on, but
yeah, we need to get some friends in Anaheim, I guess.
No, the one friend that I've got down there is literally just put their house into up for sale.
Oh.
I was like, yay, I can hang out with you guys. Like, we literally just sold our house. We're moving to Georgia. I'm like, oh.
Ooh.
Well, alrighty then.
Whale. Oh, whale. It happens. Cool. So we're doing that. Then I'm going to Sweetwater for Gear Fest in June as well. So I'm going to have a busy summer. Back to back, baby. Yeah. So quite a lot of traveling happening. But in my defense, I had not been doing a lot. Get it out of the way. Yeah.
For sure. Well, I'm curious what people are, we're taking suggestions. We're still planning out what our content's going to be, but if there's any particular content you want to see us do at NAMM, we'll be more than happy to take considerations. If you are going to be at NAMM, let's grab a beverage of your choice and let's hang.
Yeah.
My beverage of choice is probably going to be beer because it's vacation, but
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about.
Are we taking bets on how many double doubles I'm going to eat while I'm down there?
We on the bus we tried to bet how many burritos Jeff would eat on tour because he had 2 the first day, and the over under was 9, and he did not. Mm-hmm. He did not eat 9 burritos. I think he ate 3 burritos. Like he only ate 1 other burrito after that first day.
That means that someone tipped him off to it.
No, I mean he knew we were betting, but he didn't know what the over under was or who was betting what.
I cry foul.
I'll tell you what, I won that bet. I thought he would have fewer than 9 burritos. I thought he would get really sick of burritos. But then we had to define burrito. And we determined if it's called a wrap on the menu, it's not a burrito. Like if it has deli meat, it's not a burrito. But it didn't come up. We all ate a lot of salads because we're, older touring musicians.
Well, I'm kind of looking at the schedule. I don't think I'm going to get to In-N-Out for more than 3 meals overall. But definitely 2. Oh and I hope that's like as soon as we get off the plane, that's like the first place we're driving.
Sorry, Rick's driving the car. He can make the call.
I'll take an Uber. Just the drive-through. Don't need to sit down, but just drive through.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
I'm looking forward to y'all agreeing with my decision.
Are you buying?
Maybe.
I'm
desperate for a double. Animal style whole grilled onion. I might even go for a 3x3.
I don't know what those things are.
Gonna learn.
I guess so. Sweet. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in my life I need to talk about. Just ignoring the rude comments on the YouTube.
Classic.
Yeah.
Just friendly reminder to thank them for their engagement.
Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, sorry. I'm just trying to find the comment that I don't think people realize that how if you actually include a link in my video to my video instead of just like dropping a timestamp, it's going to get flagged. So I'm trying to find that comment. I was trying to find that comment and respond to it. Yep. Follow us on Instagram. We're at almost 7,000 Instagram subscribers, followers, whatever.
There we go.
Like, comment, follow on YouTube, please. Leave us a nice review on iTunes, please. And we also have a Facebook group. And TikTok. I'm on TikTok. I just came back to TikTok. Anything else to talk about?
Anything else to TikTok about?
To TikTok, talk. Good talk. No, I don't think so. Well, everybody out there, thanks for watching.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for understanding. Until next time, my name is Emily.
My name is Andrew.
Goodbye.
Bye.